Good afternoon, and thank you for being here. My name is Julia, and I'm one of the owners of the People's Tap in downtown Greenville, South Carolina. We're a small independent business, and Jennifer and I are proud to be 100% women-owned and operated. When we opened the People's Tap, our goal was simple. We wanted to create a place that felt warm, welcoming, and inviting. A space where people could gather, connect, and build community. And over time, that's exactly what this has become. We're not a late night bar. We close at 9 p.m. and we focus on hosting events that bring people together. Things like book clubs, philosophy talks, and craft nights. We collaborate with organizations like the Greenville County Library System and Julie Valentine Center and host local groups and nonprofit events throughout the year. We serve beer and wine only, and from the beginning, we have taken responsible alcohol service very seriously. Even before South Carolina passed a law requiring alcohol service training, every member of our staff was certified in safe alcohol service. When the new law, House Bill 3430, South Carolina's liquor liability reform law, was passed, it introduced new requirements for businesses that serve alcohol, including mandatory servo training and changes to the liquor liability requirements. When the new law went into effect this year, requiring a proctored exam, we immediately began the process of recertifying our staff. They had already been trained and certified in this course, but we began the process of having everyone retake the exam in the proctored format so that we were fully in compliant with the new law. We have always tried to do things the right way. But despite doing everything right, we, along with many other small businesses across South Carolina, have found ourselves in a very difficult situation. Over the past several years, the cost of liquor liability insurance has increased dramatically year after year for businesses like ours. Our premiums rose roughly 70% one year and nearly 40% the next, more than doubling in just a few years. Today, the policy we have been operating under already costs about 10% of our annual revenue, an enormous expense for a small independent business. Despite the cost, we were prepared to absorb these increases because we wanted to stay open and continue serving our community. But shortly after receiving our most recent policy, we were informed that it was no longer compliant with the new law that was passed. Not because we didn't have enough insurance. In fact, we carry significantly more coverage than the state requires. But under the new law, liquor liability policies must also meet a specific structural requirement. The per occurrence coverage must equal at least 50% of the total aggregate coverage. Our policy does not meet that ratio. So, despite carrying higher coverage limits than the state requires, ensuring our staff is properly trained and already paying a premium that represents about 10% of our revenue, we are still unable to legally operate as intended. Since we cannot remain with our current insurance provider, because while they will write policies, they are not state compliant, we have been working with multiple insurance brokers and agencies trying to secure coverage. What we are finding is that very few carriers are still writing liquor liability policies in South Carolina. And the options that remain are often unavailable or financially impossible for small businesses. I can't stress this enough. This isn't just happening to us. Restaurants, bars, and hospitality businesses across South Carolina are facing the same crisis. Responsible businesses like ours, businesses that follow the law, train their staff, and take alcohol service seriously, are now at risk of closing simply because they cannot access the insurance required to operate. And that is incredibly difficult to accept. We did everything the policymakers asked us to do. We trained our staff, we followed the law, we operated responsibly. And yet we are still facing with the possibility of losing the business we built and the community space we care so deeply about. The support we've received from Greenville and beyond over the past few days has been overwhelming. Our customers, neighbors, and fellow business owners have reminded us just how special this community is. That support means everything to us. But the truth is, community support alone cannot fix a system that is clearly not working. Many state leaders say they want to support small businesses, but right now, the policies governing our industry are making it impossible to for responsible businesses like ours to access insurance required to operate. Something has to change. We need real, meaningful solutions that restore access to insurance, make that insurance affordable for small businesses, and encourage carriers to return to South Carolina. We want to follow the law, keep our community safe, and contribute to the local economy that makes Greenville thrive. But to do that, we need a system where responsible small businesses actually have a path to survive.